All right, remember I told you guys I have a neighbor that's a retired carpenter. I called him up and asked him if I could borrow his jointer. And he said, yes, I could. And we were gonna meet later in the day. And I called him back later in the day and I said, hey, I've gotta go do a couple things this afternoon. Could we do it Sunday? He said, sure, no problem. And he goes, actually, I want to do something a little different. Instead of you using my plane, I've got a job site plane. How about you just take it? And I said, well, how much do you want for it? He goes, oh, don't worry about it. Just take it. You can have it. I know you're a guy that'll use it. Instead of just selling it, you'll get out there and use it. I hear you out there all the time. Just take it. So I got through doing what I had to do today about 3 o'clock, come home. I called him up and I said, hey, how about I come over there and get that planer? And I was not expecting this at all. I just thought it'd be some cheapo planer. But man, look at that. And he just give it to me. Isn't that cool? I was just blown away. And I've even got the owner's manual for it with all the parts ordering, the safety data, everything. Everything is there. Runs like a top. As you can see, I've been out here flying this joiner around for the past 15 or 20 minutes. I've used one of these in high school, probably about 1980. I'm gonna guess around 82, 83, probably 82, somewhere in there was the last time I used one of these. And man, it works fantastic. First thing I did is it had just a little bit of surface rust. And I took some wore out 220 grit sandpaper, sandpaper I'd already used, and went over this with 220 grit sandpaper. Well, I don't have any kind of wax. So I took some GTX motor oil and put just 3 or 4 drops on it. And I took a rag and just rubbed it in really, really good and let it sit there for a few minutes. And then I wiped it off until you absolutely could not feel any oil on it whatsoever and no more black would come off. And then I got a clean rag and I wiped it off again and got it just as clean as I could get it. But I didn't want to use new sandpaper because I was afraid I might scratch it too deep. You can still actually feel the surface marks from the when they planed it from the factory. But it's got 3 blades and it's really sharp. There's a little bit of buildup in there, but they're really, really good and sharp. And it's got an on and off switch, and then it's got a throw out switch in case you overwork it or something. It'll toss that instead of messing anything up. And then here's your adjustments, and it'll really do a really fine adjustment. You just line this sharp edge up with what you're taking off there. And but everything works fantastic. It looks great. It's got an aluminum fence, cast iron base, and you can tilt it at all the angles and everything here, and it's nice and square. And it's got the tags on it and everything. He bought it brand new. On the book, it says 93. So, I mean, in 93, that's back when this company was Cadillac Eldorado. I mean, they had the best of the best in its time, and they still make good products. But that's the first one of these I've ever owned. And like I said, I haven't used one since probably 82. Works fantastic. As you can see, I've been out here making sawdust, or saw chips, I should say. That thing really throws out a big chip. Well, these boards are pretty big. I think the one in the middle is the smallest one, and it weighs around 35 pounds. And I think this one's about 45. And this one, and I got it written down up there. It says this one's 36 pounds, but it's got some live edge on the inside where you can't see it. But I got them really, really, really close. And he loaned me some clamps. And after I got them just super, super close, it's hard to do it by yourself when you're messing with the board that's 6 foot long on this little plane and trying to hold them up, hold them down as you come off the end table. So like I said, I didn't want to just keep on going and going and going, but I got them super close. I threw me 4 clamps up there, and they'll clamp up really nice and tight now. So now I've got all that going my way, and I can't believe he gave that to me. That was so cool. You don't know how much I appreciate that. It was really, really nice of him. He's a really, really nice guy. And you ought to see some of the carpentry. I've seen him do homes that he's built and furniture that he's built. It looks like stuff you bought at the factory, just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And the homes that he built, I've been in, I think, 3 or 4 homes that he's built, and they're just gorgeous. I've painted 2 of them. one of them, and they wanted me to paint the other one, but it was just too big. I told them it'd take me 6 months to paint that thing. They had a whole crew in there. But yeah, I was just tickled to death. Free. Can you believe that, guys? Absolutely free. I just blew me away. Well, I just thought I'd show you my newest little treasure I got today. And I sure appreciate y'all checking in with me, and thank you.